Okay, welcome back to Starcross Kings, everybody. It's another exciting day for the tournament. Love Nest, unfortunately, has forfeit. His champion Cruz is not available to ascend the throne in his place.
Fresh conscripts have arrived.
So, we are left with yet another power struggle. This power struggle's two challengers are going to be Crazyman 64335 and Dbmb. Got Crazyman playing as allies first. The map is Samoski Winter. Dbmb playing as Axis Soviets on the left. Oster on the right. Guard motor, shock rifle, and mechanized support, I think. Yep. Versus close air support, mobile defense, and mechanized assault. So pretty standard loadouts. Pretty much the most meta loadouts we've seen this game. No big surprises from either player. We're going to see what they're both going to do. Crazyman going with 2 conscript opening, 2 grenadier opening from Dbmb here at the beginning of the game, and they're both going to spread out and take territory on the flanks with their engineering squads while sending their core infantry more towards the center. Crazyman's going to group his conscripts up heading towards the north fuel. Dbmb splitting his 2 grenadier squads between the north fuel and the center village cutoff. Third squad of conscripts on the field. Third squad of grenadiers in production. I'm wondering what Crazyman's going to choose on this map. I think I would be pretty surprised to see mechanized support on this map. The ISU, especially in 1v1 scenarios, does not seem to perform that well on Samoski Winter in comparison to the IS-2 and T-34-85 options that he has at his disposal, obviously. So we'll see what he chooses. Dbmb, close air support, mobile defense. I'm honestly expecting mechanized assault more than anything. Mechanized assault is by far the most popular Oster commander in this tournament, and it pretty much in all the casts I've done, mechanized assault always seems to dominate.
We have more conscripts at our disposal.
But it might be interesting to see mobile defense. And we've definitely seen Captain Price make great usage of close air support, so I don't know. I'm not familiar, honestly, with Dbmb's style. Dbmb is a very good player, and he streams occasionally. Top 10 is all 4 factions, so he's definitely highly skilled. A little bit lesser known than a lot of the other competitors we've had in this tournament, but I fully expect him to bring a pretty impressive performance to the table. Crazyman, also a little bit lesser known than a lot of our challengers, but also a very skilled player. So this should produce a pretty good matchup. The engagement for the center is not going anywhere yet. Conscripts moving to support. Pio's making a flank around the left side of the church. Grenadiers set up in green cover in 3 different positions around it, so that lone squad of conscripts will be forced to retreat. Crazyman is still pretty spread out here in the early game, taking the south with those combat engineers, while 1 squad of conscripts works on the north cutoff. The rest of his troops continue to engage in the center. Crazyman has gone with field hospital before Molotovs, which is gonna leave him without a tool to secure building control here in the center village, and without a tool to flush his opponent's infantry squads out of cover. So it looks like he's going to struggle in these engagements. Grenadiers at long range and green cover will have no problem with superior numbers forcing Crazyman out of buildings. Rifle grenade forces a retreat right there, and Dbmb will take full control of the center village with an MG42 and 3 grenadier squads available to support. 1 squad of conscripts working on the north is going to get this fuel point under control. And combat engineers are making their way to take control of this strategic point right there. Grenadiers working on the strategic point right there. So the north fuel will be cut off for Crazyman, but he still has access to the south. These 2 conscript squads are going to move to engage these grenadiers. An MG42 here in the center. trying to take positions and cover. He still does not have access to Molotov cocktails. Still not in progress either, so I'm not sure that he can really make anything happen in this engagement. 2 squads suppressed. Here on the fuel point, another fuel engagement is taking place. Grenade will force the retreat from that squad of conscripts. There they go. These 2 squads also forced to retreat by the MG42 in green cover. And so far, Crazyman not doing too well in these engagements. May even lose this squad on retreat if Dbmb tries to focus fire it down. I think he could have wiped that if he had got those grenadiers more into the retreat path. Tried to block them a little bit. They will get away by just... Nope. No, they will not get away. Die at the very last second to that MG42 burst.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
This cutoff gets taken by the combat engineers in the south, but a squad of grenadiers is making its way over here to retake. Tier 2 has been completed by Dbmb and he is fielding a half-track. Crazyman has suffered 1 squad wipe. He's losing control of the north fuel. And he's about to make a new push with these 3 squads of conscripts. The MG42 is actually backing away from the cutoff point to support these grenadiers here in the north while they try and cap some territory.
We are losing a sector.
Grenadiers taking control of this strategic point right here. Conscripts grabbing this strategic point. Dbmb continues to circle around, position his troops in cover. The MG42 is backed off into this house, giving Crazyman a little bit of room to breathe, taking back control of the strategic cutoff point. And circling south now. Crazyman has taken control of the south munitions cutoff. Conscripts moving to respond. These 2 squads of grenadiers moving to support the MG42 in the house at the munitions cutoff, and the half track is moving to the north as well to assist in that engagement. Conscripts take up a position in the house when they spot the grenadiers here in the south and north. This engagement will take some time, but it should go to Dbmb eventually, unless support arrives. Heavy mortar on the field from Crazyman, who has picked a commander, guard rifle, or guard motor coordination, which means that Dbmb may struggle to position his troops in cover for long periods of time once that mortar makes its way to the front lines and is provided vision by conscripts securing building control in the center. Dbmb doesn't have any forms of indirect fire or anti-building tools yet. His 1 squad of piles has not been upgraded with a flamethrower or a minesweeper, so he hasn't made that decision. Crazyman has not planted any kind of defenses in the south. He hasn't really had munitions at any point in this game since his cutoff gets decapped a lot. The south cutoff also decapped several times, so neither player has really held a munitions point for a very extended period of time. Dbmb will be the first player to really do so now, taking control of this munitions point in the south. Has 42 munitions coming in now as a result, and it does mean that Crazyman hasn't really planted any mines or demo charges in the south with his lone harassing squad of combat engineers. And Dbmb will be able to get it all back under his control easily enough. Oh, anti-tank grenade on the half-track right there. I don't know if Crazyman really has a way to follow up, though. Doesn't look like it. Heavy mortar bombarding these grenadiers over here. Half-track needs to pull back to safety. Heavy mortar pounding away at those grenadiers, trying to position themselves in some cover.
Medium armor and rocket artillery is now available.
And Dbmb has gone battle phase 2. I wonder why they say rocket artillery is now available. Rocket artillery is not available. I guess that's maybe at some point the Panzerwerfer must have been tier 3. It's not anymore. Conscripts moving up into short range on these grenadiers here in the cemetery. They're going down quick though and will be forced to retreat. Bet 2 on those grenadiers with the LMG upgrade. Guards have been fielded here by Crazyman with their PTRSs, possibly also upgrading with DPs. No DP upgrade for them, but with their PTRSs they should perform quite well against infantry, may be able to destroy some cover as well. The half-track is being slowly repaired. Its engine damage should be pretty much fine. None of these squads of grenadiers have quite retreated. This one may be forced to, falling dangerously low. There's a grenade from those guards. They will be able to retreat. Conscripts in the retreat path. I'm not sure if that's going to get away or not. He needs a really lucky volley, but it looks like he's given up on trying to wipe that squad and is going to circle around the north flank. Ooh, huge heavy mortar hit on that Grenadier squad. Crazyman will secure building control during this engagement, and that's a Grenadier squad wiped. 2 squads forced to retreat with barely any health remaining. Another squad just got wiped on the retreat. Now only 2 squads of Grenadiers are still alive. Crazyman secures 2 squad wipes, one here by the building with his flamethrower combat engineers, and another here. And Dbmb, oh my god, that mortar hit. Dbmb is taking huge manpower bleed. Another squad wipe by the PTRS. I don't know if Dbmb can survive these losses. So many squad wipes, and now Crazyman's infantry forces are huge by comparison.
The enemy has broken our supply lines. We are losing a sector.
Half-track needs to pull back for some repairs. I don't know if this is a situation he can survive. His map control is still pretty okay while Crazyman focuses on this engagement. Once Dbmb is forced to pull back for repairs and reinforcements and healing, he's going to be pushed completely off the map. Crazyman has almost double his opponent's squads right now. Stuge getting fielded. It's an almost desperate measure to try and take back control of this game.
Here comes Ivan! The sector has been cut off. Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Crazyman taking control of the entire map, including the South VP. Stuge moves up to engage. Starts taking shots at this conscript squad, which will retreat on sight. And the MG42 in the north house is still managing to secure control of the cutoff and fuel point for now. Crazyman's going to be forced to make a bit of a retreat here away from that Stuge while he fields a proper response. No lucky wipes yet, but it is up to 5 kills. South Munitions is falling into the control of those combat engineers now, and the Stug is making its way through the center to try and force further retreats. Heavy mortar needs to hide behind the church. Fortunately, Crazyman has not planted any mines to punish the aggressive maneuvers by that Stug, which it's making without any support. Minesweeper piles available in the base, with the half-track, which is receiving repairs. 1 squad of Grenadiers left, and a squad of Panzer Grenadiers is in production. Meanwhile, Crazyman operating on 4 squads of conscripts, 2 squads of guards, a heavy mortar, and his combat engineers. Stug gets a little too close to those conscripts and will receive engine damage. We don't have any tech structures from Crazyman this game, including no tier 2, which means he cannot make field guns. The only real weapon he has to bring to bear against this thing is the PTRS and AT grenades, which can be enough to kill it if he can get into position long enough, but that may prove difficult. Taking huge damage. Stug gets a huge hit on that guard squad, up to 11 kills now, making a pretty dramatic impact, trying to manage the map with it, managing to hold on to a pretty decent amount of territory. Crazyman wants to field all of his forces towards the center so that he can manage the threat of that Stug, and as a result he's not able to dedicate anything to trying to retake control of the north. Conscripts positioning themselves in green cover, rifle grenade behind that green cover wall. Heavy mortar landing on that Stug, nails 3 Pyos. There goes a full squad finally. Stug up to 16 kills. It'll be Vet 2 soon, making it even harder to kill. Crazyman kind of feeding a lot of infantry into the meat grinder of that Stug. So many corpses now. Heavy mortar only needs one really good shot to wipe those Pyos, though. Any second. Now just bombarding in this general area. Heavy mortar is up to 11 kills compared to the 16 kills of that Stug, so.
We are losing a sector.
Rifle grenade from those grenadiers brings the heavy mortar low, and it's going to retreat for some healing and reinforcement. Here in the north, Crazyman has spread his forces out a little bit, trying to harass a little bit of territory. Fuel point getting captured in a green cover position at range, away from the MG in the building, as well as the cutoff over there. This cutoff still has not been taken. And Crazyman has researched AT grenades, but still no Molotov research, so he still doesn't have a really nice tool to flush machine guns out of these houses. Stug is moving to respond to this engagement here in the north. Guards moving up into green cover to engage those grenadiers. They're going to fall so low. Shugi is firing. They're going down really quick. They will be forced to retreat. The Stug is now Vet 2. One more squad of guards to take shots with their PTRSs, doing a little tiny bit of damage to that Stug, plinking off the front armor. Flamethrower working on the AT gun here in the south, slowly trying to decrew that. With the half-track nearby, probably be okay. Conscript squad taking huge damage. That Stug is up to 22 kills now. Crazyman, not having gone tier 2, has no way to push that thing away from his infantry squads, and is just giving it more and more kills. But the lethality of these engagements is going to bring Crazyman to the 10 command points he obviously wants for his call-in tanks very soon. And once those arrive, it's going to be on Dbmb to fend off two T-34-85s with two AT guns and a Stug, which might be doable. It's got target weak point. He doesn't have very much munitions, though, having lost pretty much all map control. North cutoff being taken by that conscript squad over there. The fresh Panzer Grenadier squad is working on the south solo for quite some time, though, and it looks like Dbmb may finally get some territory under his control. 27 munitions coming in now that he's restored the south munitions point. Has a little bit of breathing room. Conscripts need to retreat away from the Stug right there. They're so clumped, I don't know if they're going to survive their retreat. Maybe. Looks like they're going to round that corner. I don't know how far that Stug is willing to chase. Gives up the chase. Here in the center, Grenadiers moving to take control of the center VP. Keeps taking shots at the Stug. Heavy mortar keeps taking shots at infantry as well. Panzer Grenadiers in the south had to retreat away from something. I don't even know what happened to them. Probably the heavy mortar, I guess. There's not really any other units down there except for that one squad of conscripts. A little dangerous to be parked on the ice, by the way. You never know when a heavy mortar hit is just gonna land on top of all this. I feel like one good shot from the heavy mortar could just kill that Stug right now. T-34-85 on the field, trying to make a flank. I feel like he should be careful about engaging on the ice, though. T-34 takes a couple hits from the anti-tank gun, and Stug needs to pull back to safety. Damaged engine. It's going to need to try to round that corner just barely in time. The heavy mortar is bombarding this general area as well, and there you go. Big hit on the half-track from the other T-34 in the south will sink the half-track, and reinforcement will no longer be possible. That shot probably would have killed the Stug if it had stuck around on the ice any longer. Damaged engine T-34 is pulled back for some repairs behind the house. Heavy mortar continues pounding away at the team weapons over here. This T-34 is pulled back towards the south strategic cutoff point, and Dbmb is doing a good job of managing the threat of those T-34s. They take out the half-track without suffering any losses, though. He's going to need to keep that thing moving if he doesn't want to lose it to the AT gun. Apparently the fog of war is protecting it, but with the Pio vision range Probably going to see it repairing very soon. Just got revealed. Anti-tank gun misses its first shot. Conscripts have to retreat away from the Stug's fire, and the T-34 will pull back out of range to safety. Here in the south, conscripts are grabbing the victory point back. This T-34 is self-repairing in a pretty safe area as well. Guard rifles fielded back to the center village. Take out one of those grenadiers. Piles inside the church providing vision. Putting a little pressure on the heavy mortar so that it will be off the field as well. Heavy mortar's up to Vet 2. Stug has 29 kills. Mortar, I don't know. Probably around 20. Flamethrower catches the anti-tank gun, but will reposition to safety when the Stug turns to fire upon it. T-34 in the south is fully repaired. This one in the north slowly repairing. Only one combat engineering squad on the field right now, so doesn't have that much ability to repair other than self-repair. Might consider getting another one. He's going to have the fuel for another set of T-34s actually quite soon because of how good his map control has been pretty much all game. Meanwhile, Dbmb still really far from a Tiger at his current income. He's gonna have to survive against potentially 4 T-34s on 2 AT guns and maybe a Tiger. Panzerfaust here in the south damaged that T-34's engine again. PTRS is engaging that Stug in the center, taking a lot of damage. Stug needs to pull back to safety after falling down to about half. Doesn't want to get killed just by PTRS fire. Panzer Grenadiers moving up to assist here in the center as well, and the T-34 is moving to engage. It will take a shot from that anti-tank gun on the ice. Does not sink. Needs to get outside the arc of fire. It's just parked on the ice. What is it doing? Heavy mortar landing in the area, and that, wow, that T-34 just got destroyed. More anti-tank gunfire coming in from the north as well. Definitely not a good position for that T-34 to be in at that time. T-34 here is receiving repairs behind this shed. But one of the T-34s has gone down. And Crazyman didn't really trade anything for it in return. Dbmb's infantry army is getting a little bit bigger. He's got 2 squads of Panzer Grenadiers now, 2 squads of Grenadiers, no LMGs though. Has to spend pretty much all of his munitions on Panzerfausts. And maybe target weak point if he can get it off. Engine damage is generally more valuable than a stun though, depending on the situation.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Guards working on this cutoff point. The north fuel has fallen back into Dbmb's control. That squad of conscripts suppressed down by the machine gun. Heavy mortar moving up to start firing at something though. T-34 moves up to engage the Stug frontally. Misses all of its shots. Stug takes no damage. T-34 takes light damage, has to pull back from AT gun fire. Conscripts moving up to engage those Grenadiers on the point. Rifle grenade on the conscript squad. Connects pretty okay, but heavy mortar wipes the Grenadier squad with a pretty lucky shot right there. Panzer Grenadiers bringing that conscript squad kind of low, but they're not going to, no, they will retreat rather than continue to provide vision for the mortar, which lands a little bit off target. Panzer Grenadiers are going to retreat just to be safe. Doesn't want to lose any more full squads of that thing if he can avoid it. It's got 17 kills. Dbmb rapidly running out of time. He's only got 71 points remaining. Can't seem to make progress anywhere on the map, but his Tiger is going to hit the field. Since he was able to restore control of the north fuel point, Tiger is definitely gonna arrive. Well, he's got the fuel. I don't know about the manpower though. He's lost so many infantry squads that I don't know, maybe a Tiger won't be able to make it to the field in time. It's going to depend on his ability to try and take control of victory points. He's working on the south right now with that lone Panzer Grenadier squad and making a play for the center with the entire rest of his army. T-34 takes a little bit of damage and needs to pull back to safety. That Vet 3 Stug is an extremely powerful weapon. 39 kills on that thing. Heavy mortar gets a big hit on those Grenadiers. They need to pull to safety. Grenade flushes them out of cover as well. T-34 trying to defend the center point. Anti-tank gun firing on the T-34 from this position on the river. Every heavy mortar shot has the potential to be catastrophic here. Anti-tank gun needs to reposition to a slightly safer location. T-34 has not really been successful in pushing away those Pios. He's actually going to pull that towards the south to push away those Panzer Grenadiers, where they will be pretty much undefended. Anti-tank guns moving to respond in that general area as well. But the clock is stopped, and Dbmb has a little bit of time to wait for that Tiger to arrive. Meanwhile, a second set of T-34s is rolling onto the field now, making its way towards the center. Is that a wipe? That was a wipe. Lucky T-34-85 shot on the squad getting into the house, wipes them. Both anti-tank guns move up to engage. They have to use attack ground to fire through this hedge, and their shots do not connect. T-34 is probably going to pull to safety. These two T-34s can probably capitalize on the fact that both anti-tank guns went south. They're both coming back to the center now, though. And the Stug is going to reposition more towards Crazyman's base to be safe from a big push. This could be a very decisive engagement. Both T-34s going in very hard. Anti-tank guns are still in motion. Tellermine right there for that T-34's push. Nice Tellermine placement. Third T-34 moving up from the south to try and clear out those AT guns. Heavy mortar bombarding the area as well, but one T-34 goes down, suffering engine damage from that Tellermine. This one in a little bit of danger as well. Not sure if that's going to get away. Barely gets outside the arc of fire of those AT guns and will be able to pull back for some repairs. Pretty good engagement for Dbmb, taking out a T-34, not really losing anything. Still has the vet on his anti-tank guns, but he's lost control of the center VP. If he loses control of the south VP, he will be triple capped and have only seconds to recover control of the game. Fortunately, his Tiger has finally hit the field, making its way towards the center to push away infantry and try and get this victory point back under his control. Tiger and Stug taking shots at these guards on the front lines. And another squad of infantry just got wiped by the heavy mortar. I don't even know what it was. His Pios just died somewhere. All it's going to take is one heavy mortar shot to wipe that Grenadier squad and prevent the capture of the center victory point. And the tanks practically tripping over themselves to get into the center point. And preventing those Grenadiers from making it into the capture circle. There it is. Grenadiers just got wiped. Dbmb has no infantry left despite killing 48 infantry with his Stug and 3 more with this Tiger. I don't think he can get the victory points under his control. 20 remaining, and he doesn't have any squads left with which to take the VPs. MG42 running for the center, but I'm pretty sure he's too late. 8 points remaining as he tries desperately to capture this area. 5, 2, and that is the game. GG. Crazyman takes it. Hopefully short break, and we will jump into game 2.